All right. Good morning. Good morning. First time ever live from a moving vehicle. Just checking off boxes all over the place here. Guys, good to see you this morning. Hop in the chat. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you're doing on a scale of 1 to 10. We'll let some people jump in here. Might be slow on the comments today just because we're traveling and it may be slow to pop up. But anyway, happy. Good to see you guys. Gonna keep going with day 7 of our contractor sales playbook and talk about handling objections like a pro. So let's let some people jump on here. Get my notes up. Yeah, Touring Man is here. Good to see you, buddy. Shoot. Good morning. How are you? Yeah, we are. So we're about 12 miles north of Bristol, Tennessee. Bristol, yeah, and 100 miles north of Knoxville, I think, headed for Houston, Texas. So we decided we would drive out, and so we rented a pimped out Dodge Durango, and we've been driving almost since I talked to you guys yesterday. We left about midday, so we're hammering down and decided to take a road trip. We got a bunch of traveling around to do while we're in Texas. So I said to Wendy the other day, I said, what do you think about just driving? She said, I'm down. I'm in. So, and at about 2 o'clock this morning, that didn't seem like such a great idea. We were trying to get a little sleep, but anyway, here we are. So we're gonna go hard at it today, and wherever we end up later today, we'll stop and grab a hotel and do the rest in the morning. So anyway, good to see you guys. Happy Sunday. We get a couple of days removed from Thanksgiving here and get back to the grind, so to speak, and get the week teed up. So yeah, we're definitely gonna hit a Bucky's lock. Good to see you. Thanks for being on. Touring Man, where have you been, brother? It's been a while. Good morning, Luke McGee. We're heading in your direction, kind of. Thought we were going to get into some snow. We got into a little bit of freezing-ish rain. It didn't really make the road slick, but got a little sketchy there for a bit. So, but anyway, we're just kind of trading off on the driving and making it work. So, and I'm over here on the passenger side working the brake pedal, as you might expect. I'm trying to be good. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Pop in the chat. How you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm looking up a lot too because I don't want to get motion sickness in the vehicle, but we're on a pretty straight shot, so it shouldn't be too bad. But we packed our snacks, and so we'll have them, and we have all kinds of stuff with us. So we're eating well on the way, staying hydrated, and doing the thing. Jason Greenleaf, good to see you back here. I appreciate you sharing this out. Thank you very much, sir. So, yeah, just enough freezing rain. Yeah, it does. It was like 6:30 or so, and we were like, "Is it ever going to get light?" And then we walked into a gas stop or whatever, and we could hear the accent. I said, "We're not in Kansas anymore." So, anyway, it's gone well. No issues so far. So hopefully that'll stay that way. So. First time doing this from a vehicle, working on a hotspot. So if it gets jammed up, I'll finish it later when we get somewhere we can throw down some roots. Hey Sherry, how you doing? We're almost to Bristol, about I don't know 100 miles from Knoxville. So doing well. Thanks, Yin. Appreciate it. Good to see you. So I'm getting younger every day. Thanks, Touring Man. That's crazy. So. Guys, I want to talk about in our contractor sales playbook. I want to continue our discussion and today talk about objections. Okay, and objections aren't rejection; they're information. All right. So most contractors panic when a client hesitates. Right, you give the price and then they hesitate a little bit, and I say, "Oh no," and you start to get tense and maybe start talking too much, and then you immediately lower the price. Right. We don't want to do that, okay? The truth is, client objections indicate that a client is still engaged. All right, they're still thinking about it. They're not, because if they weren't, they would just go away, right? They wouldn't be on the phone with you, or they'd be done with you in the meeting, right? They're not the end of the conversation. They're actually the start of the real conversation. Morning, Dad. How are you? So back when I was doing contracting, and I didn't really know how to deal with an objection, I would probably take it personally or get back in the truck and right. But I would hear things like, this is more than we expected, or, oh, we need to think about it, or we're getting 3 other bids, or wow, that seems high. So I'd feel like, I failed to communicate what we were trying to do, or I'd get flustered or overwhelmed, rushing into explanations, maybe tap dancing, or even worse, I would start discounting. And you don't want to do that. You don't need to do that. When I realized that objections happen because the client needs clarity, not because they don't want to move forward, that's when things started to change. Okay, I learned how to be calm and listen, pace the conversation, and lead the conversation. Once I did that, I started closing more deals. Okay, at higher margins. People would say, I think we're just going to go with you. And I would say, well, I thought you had a couple other guys coming on, say, Tuesday. Yeah, but we like what we hear here. I think I can speak for both of us. We're going to move forward. That kind of stuff would happen, which was great. So less pressure, right? So we want to make that shift if we can. So today is all about that. I want to reiterate that objections are a sign of interest, not rejection. They're not telling you, get out of my house like they told us one time. It's like I said, if it was true, they wouldn't still be on the phone. They wouldn't have you in the house. They wouldn't still be interested. They'd just disappear. Okay. Objections mean that the client wants to understand. They need a deeper level of understanding. They're still curious. They're considering. They want options. Okay. They're weighing the options. They're thinking more deeply about it in general. So those are all good things, right? We're still in the game. We still have a chip in a chair, so to speak. Okay. So you need to change your mindset from, oh, here we go. I got an objection, to great. Now I get to lead this call. This is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. This is where the game starts, so to speak. Okay. And just stay calm, because your energy is going to set the tone in that conversation. Okay. Most contractors will speed up when they get that objection. They'll start talking, start tap dancing, start justifying. Okay. But when you stay calm, the client is going to relax. The tension drops. Okay. The walls come down, and more conversation opens up. Okay. Maybe you have to pivot back to building a little bit more rapport. They needed something. They needed more trust, whatever it is, because a calm contractor is a trusted contractor. Okay. That's what it's all about. So I would challenge you guys to listen first. Don't jump into fixing. I often would do that. I'm a fixer. Okay. The moment a client voices an objection, you don't necessarily need to talk, just to start talking. Don't explain, don't justify, don't defend. Just pause and say, hey, tell me more about that. All right. That's a game changer. Okay. Clients will reveal the real concern if you just give them the space. Just give them the space to think about it for a second. All right. They're involved in the conversation too. All right. Just give them a chance to think, because that first objection is rarely, if ever, the real objection. And there's only 4 types in my book. Okay. One, the first one, right? Number 1, money. Okay. It's more than we expected. Second one is trust. We're getting other bids, right? They're not on board yet. Or the next one's timing. So we got money, trust, now timing. We need to think about it, right? And the last one's clarity. We don't understand the difference between you and that other guy. So every objection falls into one of those categories. Once you know the category, you know how to lead that conversation from there. Good morning, Bernie Malloy. Good to see you, buddy. Lead with curiosity, not defense. Don't automatically get defensive when somebody gives you an objection. Okay, so here are some powerful responses that you can use. I've used these, they work. Okay. How about that clarity one where if they say, oh, that's more than we expected. Okay, just curious, what were you expecting the price to be? Let them talk. You might get their budget. They might say, well, we know you mentioned 100. We didn't want to spend any more than 80. Okay, now we've got something to shoot for. Okay, and on the timing one, well, we need to think about it. Well, what is it that you need to think through? Let's talk about it. Maybe I can help you with that. How about the clarity objection? What part of the scope feels unclear? And then the trust one. What's most important to you when choosing a contractor? What are the things that, what are the boxes we're going to need to check if we come over here and work? Okay. And the last one, another clarity one. What would need to happen for this to feel like a yes for you today? Are we working together? So, and people would continue to ask me questions like, when can we start? When are we doing this? When are we doing that? Sometimes I would jump in and do that, assume the close thing. Well, like, but geez, I mean, you're asking this and you're asking that. I mean, it sounds like we're going to be working together. Go for the close, okay? Assume that close, right? Control that conversation, right? You worked hard to get it. You either paid to get a lead, to get your phone to ring. You got in your truck and you showed up somewhere. So make the most of it, okay? And be careful not to fix the wrong problem, okay? If they say, oh, this seems high, an amateur will respond with, oh, well, there may be something we could take off, right? Versus a professional saying, okay, well, tell me what you're comparing that to, right? And then the conversation continues and you're leading it, right? Because the real issue might be they misunderstood the scope or they didn't hear the full value. You didn't do a good job outlining the scope. You didn't do a good job of doing what we talked about yesterday, delivering that value before the ask. Or it might be that they've used cheap contractors or that they've never done a project like this before, okay? Or they're scared of getting burned, okay? And that happens. So if you fix the wrong problem, you lose the sale, okay? You want to state your value, right? You don't argue, you don't defend, don't get emotional, don't get all butthurt because somebody gave you an objection. Just calmly bring them back to the quality, the process, the communication, the details, the expertise, your standard, the reputation. Hey, why was it? Remind me why you gave us a call. Get them to say that. Remind them of the end result. Facts beat fear every time. Leadership beats hesitation. Okay, so be the guy that's leading the conversation. All right. I always give you guys a few reflective questions to ask yourselves. So here's a couple. How do I react when objections come up? Do you get calm or do you get defensive? How do I react when objections come up? The next one is, do I listen long enough to uncover the real concern? Am I in a hurry working through that, building rapport period, finding out their motive or their why, and whether they've ever worked with a contractor before, how long they've been thinking about doing the project, who else is going to be part of the decision-making process here? Those are all great questions. Yes, Ian. Yes, and. Right, exactly. Do I take objections personally? Or do I treat them like information? The guy that handles a lot of our sales, Tony, was on our daily sales accelerator call a while back inside the Rosenberg group. And he was saying that he loves it when he finally gets to that first objection because he feels like that's when the call really starts. So look at it that way. You got to get to that point, right? And then ask yourself, what objection do you fear the most? Don't play that stuff, guys. Sit with somebody and go over it. Say, hey, give me a little pushback on price. Or, hey, give me that line where, hey, I've got to go talk. I got to check with my wife. All right, so you can get comfortable. So when those come down the pike, you're just it's just a ground ball and you're picking it up and firing it over to first. Okay. And then write this sentence down. Okay. Great. Tell me more about it. Right. So when the next objection comes up, great. Tell me more about it. Just practice that. Say it before you get out of your vehicle. Say it before you pick up the phone. That sentence will change everything for you. What changed everything for me was when I started asking people, hey, how, and it might be a while into the conversation. Hey, you've mentioned a lot that you want to do with this kitchen or this addition or with the house or whatever. Talked about a lot of things. It's been great. How can I help you the most? Do you think anyone's ever asked them that before? Probably not. Okay. Sean Hilton says this coaching topic is perfect timing for me. That's great, Sean. I appreciate it. I'll get the link to our daily sales accelerator calls. You can hop in there if you want to check it out. We've got a free 7-day trial you can check out. So appreciate you being here. Share it out if it's helpful. So yeah, guys, objections aren't something to avoid. There's something to lead through. Lean into them. Figure out how you can get better at it, because the pros stay calm. They listen deeply. They ask great questions. They uncover the truth. They're building rapport all the way through the conversation. They're guiding the client with confidence. Okay, so handle them like a pro, and you'll close more deals than you ever thought possible, and you won't be bidding against yourself, sharpening your pencil like we talked about earlier a few days ago. Okay, and you're going to win. All right. So drop a fist pump in the chat if this was helpful for you. If you got a nugget out of that, if there's something that caused you to think, hey, maybe I'll try that a little bit differently at my next sales interaction, hit me with a fist pump. Share this out, guys. If you haven't been here before and you're just jumping on, I'm here every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. This is the first time I've been live from a vehicle, so I didn't know if it was going to work. We're working from a hotspot, but I don't anticipate having to do it tomorrow, but we might. So I appreciate you guys jumping on. It's super, super cool for me. Today's day 339, I think, in a row. And I call it hashtag live 365. So we're going every single day. And you guys will notice that I'm taking some of these and creating a blog with the topic maybe a week or so later, popping that in too. So there'll be more information coming all the time. Good morning, Juan. Good morning, Jess Novak. Pop in the chat how you guys are doing today. So yeah, that's what I had for you on objections. I hope it's helpful. Pop a fist bump in the chat if it was. And yeah, we're driving to Dallas. So we figured, well, I've just been on a plane enough this year, right? And Wendy and I were talking about it. We were gonna have her come out and meet me like midweek, and then drive up to Dallas and see Bailey, or fly into Dallas, and we were gonna go back and forth. I had to come back down to Houston for the ground school. I almost said flight school. Ground school, and so for the 8th and 9th for our clients, and so 8 or 10 days away from home. And we just said, you know what the heck, let's take a road trip. So another chapter in the book called Bob and Wendy's Great Adventures, right? We've been driving a lot. Wendy got a haircut yesterday. She said, if you put me on that camera, I'll kill you. So we'll look forward to grabbing a shower later. Today we get to the hotel. So Dave, thank you. I appreciate it. Guys, I hope you have a great day today. I hope the weather's better in Maine than it is here. It's kind of overcast. But we're hammering down for Dallas. So for Houston. Yeah, spring actually. Did I say Dallas before? We are going to Dallas, but Houston first. And looking forward to it. So hopefully tomorrow we'll have most of the day to kick back and relax, get ready to go. So catch up on some sleep. So Yin says, wait, who's driving? Not me at the moment. There's Wendy. Not me at the moment. I drove, Connecticut was a bear. I mean, Connecticut lasted like a year and a half, it seemed like. Gridlock, stem to stern, start, stop. Everybody ripping down the right lane, just chopping people off, being a bad human. And we got through. I mean, it was like, if you ever use the GPS, it was just all red. We were just creeping. So we were an hour and 45 minutes behind schedule by the time we even got out of Connecticut, coming from Maine. So we'll make that up here when we get out into the clean air, so to speak. And Wendy said, we're making it up right now. Ooh, currently traveling at 84 miles an hour. So anyway, overcast there. Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, how long is the drive? It's it says 1 day, 4 hours, but I'm gonna say 30 hours, Dave. Yeah. So we'll get a bunch. We got a bunch done last night, and in the wee hours of the morning this morning. So bad people points. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's about 30. So we'll get there, and the drive back will be fun because it won't feel quite so adventurous. I told Wendy, I said, yeah, we hadn't even really thought about snow because we took the southernmost route, so we'll clip Atlanta, will we? No.
We're going through Alabama.
Alabama,
And then,
Louisiana,
yeah. Then we
New Orleans.
go all the way to the bottom to the ocean, and then we turn.
Yeah, so let's go south till you hit the see the Gulf of America, and hang a right.
Yeah.
So, Larry White, how you doing? We're gonna see you next week in Houston. I think we are. So, yeah, we're driving out. We could have picked you up, Larry. I don't think Melinda would have liked that. So, anyway, yeah, it's going to be a road trip. I want to thank my brother Rick and sister-in-law Sherry for taking the dogs. They're always so good to us, and the dogs love what we call the spa up there in Hollis, and they have a good time. They're well cared for. So, as you guys know, if you have a pet, it's hard to do stuff like this unless you have somebody that can help you out. So, Yin says our longest drive was to South Dakota from Georgia. Yeah, that's a good one. This one, as a crow flies, is 1,664 miles, but driving it's more like 1,900 and something. Yeah, one way. We'll give the rental back. Say she's good. She's a good old girl. She shakes around 100 or so. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's both of our longest road trips. So anyway, guys, share it out if you wouldn't mind. I appreciate it. All you guys that share all the time, thank you so much. It's really growing. People are jumping on here, especially during the week, and we've had a couple of days of over 35 people jumping on here and watching it. So if you're watching it on the replay, pop in the chat, replay or rewind or whatever, and hopefully you got a little something out of it. Catherine Thomas, good to see you. Appreciate you guys, the ones that are on here whose names I don't see. It doesn't always pop up, but thank you very much. I appreciate the support. Day 339, I think, closing in on 365 in a hurry. So anyway, guys, we're going to get back to it. I got to make sure I supervise over here from the passenger. She said, no, you can stay right on there. So anyway, morning, Bob. Good morning, Bob, says Bernie Malloy. Good to see you. I scrolled back up and hit my other one. Sean Hilton, thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Looks like the sun might pop out. We'll see. Anyway, guys, we're out. Have a great, I'm just being optimistic. Have a great day, guys. Love y'all. We'll see you.